ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 3 Men and a Vape Show. It is Wednesday, it is 8 PM, and that means that we are on your screens now and again. As you can see, the walrus, the love walrus of vaping, isn't with us. He is not very well, so unfortunately, he is not here this week, is he, bro?
He's not, no. As you can tell on the screen, he's not here, no.
No, there is two of us.
There's only two.
There's only two of us. I had to check my screen then, just in case there was any more of us.
But you know something? I've got to point this out, and people might not realise this. I think in the vaping world, we are the only two brothers.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before, years and years and years ago. Yeah, I don't think there is that many reviewing brothers out there.
Or siblings.
Or siblings. I can't think of any.
I can't think of any of them. How exclusive is that?
Hey, but really, it'd be even better. Well, no, I'm thinking congealed. Is that the word? Congealed? Conjoined? No?
Conjoined. I think that's what you meant. Congealed is when it goes all...
Oh, yeah. No, the last thing we want is us all congealing.
No.
It wouldn't have been very good, though, if we were actually Siamese twins, because she would have been very lower than me.
Well, yes, this is true.
I'd have to talk
I'd be probably coming at you, you know, where your hip is or something like
yeah, can you hold this for me? Oh.
Mark, just hold me fine.
Again, would you have deep pockets?
I don't know, would I?
I don't know. I always worry. Again,
yeah,
short
but the
people.
thing is, though, you wouldn't be able to get in my pockets because your arms wouldn't be long enough.
No, it wouldn't, no. So you were safe down there.
I'd be able to sneak into yours.
Why am I sat here like this with my hand down there going like that? Like I was feeling in the pocket. I don't know why. Yeah, I couldn't really be one of them twins, could you? You know, where they were stuck together. What a nightmare that'd be.
See, the thing is, though, all of a sudden in my head, I had the image of Running Man. Can you remember? Is it Running Man? Not Running Man.
The woman with the three boobies.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Where he meets the guru and he thinks it's the bloke and he opens his chest. Little bloke there going, hello.
Why did I first of all think about the woman with the three boobies?
You've got to, as soon as you mentioned Total Recall. We was at that age that we was impressionable with.
Yeah, well, can I take her home? John Paul Glasgow says, you're not brothers, you're twins. Only one. Which one is Danny DeVito? Well, obviously, I'm not Danny DeVito. He's the shorter one of the two. To be honest with you,
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, we were actually triplets, but we ate the other one, or I did. We're here all week, do try the fish. But yeah, just going back on to Mr. B, yeah, he's not very well at all. He did try and get through it and sit in his computer chair, but he nearly made him cry, poor lad. So but he will be back next week. The walrus of vaping. We'll have to come up with some sort of bow, bow, bow.
Wow.
Yeah, pick a wow. Bit of 70s porn. We've gone for everything. 3 boobies, porn, a lot. So, bro, it's been a week. What have you been up to? How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. I haven't done anything. I've had a week. I thought, what with that Easter, a long weekend, didn't do anything over the weekend, really. Did a bit of shopping, that kind of stuff. But I thought, no, I'm going to have a rest. I'm having a week off, so my reviews will be back up next week. So
I thought I could read other things on my feed.
Come on, I'll keep your feed going.
Of course you do. And I like it. You keep going for it.
So yeah, it's, I mean, I've got plenty of e-liquids that I've got hold of. In fact, I bought some myself as well. So I've got plenty of that to go at. So yeah, I thought I'll just have a week off. Got a week off.
Especially you've been banging them out like daily. So it's always nice to have that little break.
Since the beginning of the year, it's been enough every other day.
Yeah. So it's just nice to have that little bit of a break. At the minute, I can't taste the thing. That's why I'm drinking Stella. I can't taste the thing. So there's no point in me doing anything. And
yeah, I mean, you've been poorly though, haven't you?
It's been horrible. I've had them beers in that. I was telling you, in that fridge for absolutely ages, and I've not been sleeping very well. I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to have a couple of beers while I'm on the show. So we'll go for the Stella, which really isn't a beer, is it? Really, it's not nice.
No.
Can't taste it anyway. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Big shout out to everybody who's joined us this week. Week in, week out, you make this show. Thank you so much, and big love to you all, and I hope you are all absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. The wonderful Orion's Braces, nice to see you, mate. We will be doing your Rochford project a little bit later on, so don't forget to get over to his website. 15% off all the way up till 12 o'clock. 3 Men Vape. Go and use it and get some of that gorgeous Rochford project. Obviously, last week while we're talking, couple of things. Stu Valentine's coming down for the Vapor Expo. Now, I'd already spoke to you about this, so we mentioned it in the show last week, and then he sort of put in brackets 29th of April. So me and Louise have sort of had it in his head that he's coming down on the 19th of April. So I'm thinking he's going to be here for 3 weeks until we go to the Expo. So we've been getting everything ready for the 19th. I even went back and checked on the message. So I sent him a message after the show last week. I went, are you coming on the 19th or the 29th? And Stu went, I'm coming on the 29th. So I thought, fuck, we've been getting ready for the 19th. As well as there's been a little bit part of me, for 3 weeks trying to keep somebody who's come from Australia in Bentley, trying to keep, where am I going to take him? Top Club, West End.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a culture shock.
Oh, it's definitely. Just being in my house, it's going to be a culture shock with the kids, isn't it? You know they're like. It's going to be funny as hell. I would take them to the vape shop, but the vape shop around the corner.
No. Obviously, I popped round to your house the other day, and the Ram raided it.
Ram raided the vape shop. Now, Finn, can you remember Finn who was in the vape shop? We've had him on the show. He's back there. So I went to see him on I think it would say the Thursday or something like that. He's back in there, and then on the weekend, bang, Ram raided it. It's all boarded off.
Did they catch him?
No, they were off. The Ram raided and they were off. I don't think they've caught anybody yet. But it must have been. You do get it like everywhere else. You get things, but it must have been just one of them nights because a car was stolen out the back. I don't know if that was used in it, but a car was stolen out the back, and then that had happened. So they're obviously thinking.
So if anyone's selling you cheap disposables in Bentley, you know where they've come from.
Yeah, well, with him being back in there as well, he was always very good, Finn, at pushing people not to get disposables and to get them onto these sort of devices, which he were really good at doing. Where a lot of the staff they had after he left didn't really know that much about vaping, so it was, yes, I'll just sell you whatever you need sort of thing. But yeah, Ram raided, which I thought that's terrible. So yeah, Stuart Valentine isn't coming down to the 29th. Now, I got an email, I think it was last week, from the wonderful people at Vapor Round. The awards has been cancelled.
Yeah, I heard that.
Until October. Now, I don't know what people's thought is in chat. Is it they were sort of saying that it was with the new laws that have come in and they wanted to let the sort of the industry settle down? Do you think a lot of people, because of the bans coming in with the disposable, a lot of them companies maybe haven't bought the sponsorship packages that they'd had before, or what do you think that?
I was surprised at it. Normally, I would have thought they'd have just done the May instead of the October. But obviously, what with everything changing, and it's going to be interesting to see what Expo is going to be like in May. I would have thought we'd have noticed a big change in October, but it might be like exactly what you've said, because the industry now knows that disposables are going to be banned. It's beginning of next year, isn't it? So what's the point in having a stall at Expo? So what's the point in the awards? It could be that.
Yeah, somebody says the connection went to shit then. That's your side. I haven't dropped anything. Everything's all good here. You've got to think over the last couple of the awards, it's been heavily sponsored by the more disposable companies, hasn't it?
Of course it has.
You'd have obviously like your Vampire Vapes and certain people, Lost Vape and Geek Vape. They'd all sponsor a sort of an award, but the major show sponsors have been more of the disposable.
Yeah, I mean, also a few years back you had like Heat Not Burn. They were quite sponsoring it as well.
I don't think they were ever a major sponsor. I think they might have done a.
I know they were big. They were involved with quite considerably. The year that Mr. Bell interviewed him.
That was the year that you and me went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the year you and me went. I can't remember a massively thing because I might be wrong again.
I think
we're going back there, 2017, 2018.
Oh God, yeah, I'm blooming heck, yeah, and the rest.
Yeah,
I think overall, I mean, we're in flux. It's pretty much like when we was talking about the different parties last week and what they're planning on doing with vaping. I think we are in such a limbo at the present moment as an industry that I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen at the present moment.
Yeah, well, we said that last week. It's more of a suck it and see until they actually get out. When we find out who we've got in power.
How much Vape Around Awards to put on that show?
Oh, it's a lot of money.
Costing. That's a lot of money. So.
Well, you've got to think about the lights and the entertainment alone.
Yeah.
And then you're talking a 3-course meal. You're talking, again, the cost of the awards, people being there.
Yeah. It's a very expensive do, especially since the majority, as we've known since COVID, since we came back from COVID, the majority of the actual vendors have been disposable vendors. Can't get my words out. So if they are the bulk of the awards and they're pulling out, it's put everything in turmoil, hasn't it?
I'm sorry that the wonderful Vape Smart is in. Sorry, buddy. It does sound like it's a fish tank. The reason why it sounded like that is we've got female endlers in there, and they're obviously producing babies. So just before we went live, probably half an hour, my wife, we always check, see if because they're gravid. That's right? And look at me, we're weird, gravid. So they sat there and the 5 babies have popped out, so we have to take them out as quickly as possible because if not, they eat their own young, unfortunately. So we've got like a nursery upstairs, so we've took them out, but she's had to scoop a bit of water out. So yes, in fact, I can't stop that. To be honest with you, it's going to end up making me want a wee, and that's not very good.
Oh, you can't have you having a wee.
In fact, no, that's not going to. In fact, that's probably made it worse. And now I've got a wet hand. It's been a while since I've had a wet hand. It is. But no, it's because I've been having showers. So yeah, it's going to be sad that though, because it's one of the things that I always look forward to in May. It's always nice to get together, and I've had some really good times there. But yeah, so that's going to be in October. Again, it's going to be fun because we're on the countdown now to Expo. It is going to be fun to see what it's going to be like in May. Has it been
do you know what I'm looking forward to seeing? I know this is really sad, but I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what the footfall is going to be like.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 expos that I've been to, well, obviously yourself, we've noticed the footfall has fallen greatly.
Well, it's been like that since
since we came back from COVID, really.
But I feel the last one was a lot better than the other ones that had been on because...
Yeah, I missed the last October.
Yeah, so the last one was a lot better. You could see it with people who were coming in on the Saturday, you know, when they were coming in. Yeah, a lot better. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be great that Stu Valentine's going to be there. And again, we go there for you're coming down for the Saturday, then travelling.
Yeah, I'm Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I can't. I tried to get the Friday off, but because of the new policy at work, only one person's allowed off at any one time, and one of the people that I work with, they're off that week, so I can't take the Friday off. So.
Is it the final countdown Europe, a song triggered? Right then, ladies, as you saw on the thumbnail and the name of the show, advertising. Now, the company, we were talking about this, you and me, one Mark, just before we came on. Cap. And I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think he put it in the Facebook group. Make sure you get over to the UK VCA Facebook group. I think, what's his name? It's from Banana. He makes panels.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Banana. I think it's Banana Laboratories. Is he from? Alex Stacey. We have met him. The name rings a bell. I think we met him at Vape Fest, I think. He makes 3D stuff, and he put it in there. So obviously the clamping down on the advertising of vape products and where you can advertise and what type of advertising you can actually do. And to be honest with you, that sort of came in, didn't it, with the TPD, but it sort of lasted for about a couple of months, and then you saw them on the side of buses, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been a bit weird, hasn't it, to be honest with you? The restrictions they're still in place. The actual restrictions on advertising haven't changed. It's just that the enforcement now is going to increase. Because let's face it, I think as an industry and as people that sort of like, even in the reviewing side of things, I think there's a lot more promoters now.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
There's a hell of a lot more promoters. And I think that's where they will clamp down on.
Well, they're saying this about as well with TikTok. That there's obviously a lot going off on TikTok now. TikTok's a new sort of thing that's been out, last 3-4 years. Where we always found that the influencers, the reviewers were on YouTube and the influencers were on Instagram, wasn't it?
Yeah, Instagram.
Sort of that side, or maybe Twitter as well. Not loads. Was there loads on Twitter? You're more of a Twitter man than me.
Not really, no. He's been mainly Instagram. I'm not a follower of TikTok anyway, so but you do notice it on Instagram with the the
Carrot Labs.
Them lovely Labs. Women.
It makes panels and stuff like that. Now, again, it's what I think you got in a little bit of a conversation with Darren, which is Bunny's partner, about, again, what they're going to be able to post on Facebook, Instagram, and do panels come into it? Again, cancel liar and all this.
By all accounts, they've got a new AI program that's going to sift them all out.
Are they going to whistle while they do it? Sift them all out. They've got.
From what I've understood, and please, someone who knows far more than me, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, is you are still allowed to advertise, but obviously you've got, if it's in a private group, you've got to keep it a private. You've got to keep it to the facts. You can't say silly claims that this is better and all that lot. You can't have none of that. And
Vape says, from what I've heard, it's TikTok first, then Instagram, then Facebook, non-private, then Twitter, then reviewers with fish tanks.
Maybe about right.
What they're saying is, it's following this notice, advertisers have until the 28th of March to ensure that their ads are compliant. After that, they will be conducting enhanced monitoring using our active ad monitoring system to find ads that may break our rules and take action where they do. For advertisers who want to learn more about making ads, they've got or making complaints for it as well. They can sign up to their webinar, which is, I think it's already gone, that.
The webinar, you can actually watch that on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Did you watch it?
I've watched about 20 minutes of it, and honestly, it's like listening to stereo. It's so like...
Yeah, nodding off.
Yeah, it is so... Yeah.
Do you know the bit that's always... Again, we have this with vaping constantly. There's always cloudy bits of it, and the bit that pisses me off is the fact is that vaping is a way of people from stopping smoking. So they're quite happy to put on television the patches.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the gum, but they won't put vaping on. But
it's like I said last week. Adults don't like flavours. Flavours are only for children. So why has your nicotine got flavoured gum?
Exactly. I think even did the sprays end up having flavours?
Yeah, you've got flavoured sprays as well. Yeah.
So again, but it's that sort of that greyness again. It's like I think they're trying to put it in to the fact of people of vaping, just as vaping as the same as smoking, where it isn't. It needs to be put into the category which it is, which is a way of stopping smoking.
At the end of the day, it's a harm reduction product.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. I appreciate the child side of things. Yeah, we all understand that side of it. But the product itself is already legislated as an 18-plus product.
Yeah.
So why is that I still don't get it, why that's the vaping industry's fault? It's not. It's the enforcement fault.
Yeah. And obviously the dodgy
backhands.
Who
enforces this law? Oh, yeah, the government do. So it's the government's fault. One, they don't put in enough money into trading standards. There's not enough trading standard officers. It's so simple. Why are we getting illicit vapes into the country? Well, that's easy because the border controls aren't doing their job because there's not enough staff and there's not enough money being put into it.
True. So
but they're leaving the blame to the actual people that are actually Joe Bloggs, who's got his vape shop.
Yeah. And that's what you're getting. I can't see how they can't see it's so plain and simple as everybody else can, especially on the vape side. And obviously you get all the fake news that people then pick up, oh, this vaping, that. I'm just going to go on to what Barry just said, just while he's put it on there. Did anybody hear the nonsense on TalkSport News this evening? 2 19-year-olds have been arrested for filming a toddler vaping. That is actually true. The 2 19-year-olds sat there, they've got a baby in their arms and they've stuck a disposable vape in his mouth. What a fucking set of idiots.
And it's knobheads like that cause off a problem.
Of course it is. Why in the world would you do that? Would you put a cigarette in a kid's mouth?
Exactly.
And I think some of this, I blame the government, is they're not putting enough information out there for vaping. Children shouldn't be vaping, but as it's been said, kids will always try when they shouldn't try stuff, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever else. But there's got to be a little bit more information so people can make an honest and educated view on it. But then you've got dicks like that who are all over the papers.
And there always will be. That's the point, though, isn't it? There always will be. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if you heard about Germany and the cannabis.
Yeah, but they've made it legal.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a restricted legal.
Well, they're going to be able to grow it at home, aren't they now?
Yeah, and you're allowed to have so much on your possession.
To be honest with you, here in the UK, we just do it anyway. I think people just, you could, especially if it's been snowing, you can tell the people who are growing it because their roof's the only one without snow on it.
But isn't it strange how they can restrict things like vaping, but allow cannabis?
Yeah.
You say, what?
Do you think, again, it's another way that they're going to be able to make money from dispensaries and things like that?
Yeah, I think when it all boils down to, we can advocate as much as we want. I mean, let's face it, we're preaching to the converted anyway, and we always have done. So it's sort of like a case of, it boils down to money. And you can see it. It's so blatantly obvious. Obviously, the country, just base it on UK, the UK country in a whole has been reducing in people smoking.
Yeah.
Where were they getting their big off taxes? From smoking. So they've got to gain that money back somewhere. And it's like I always said, when COVID happened, and they was giving out the furloughs and all that lot. I mean, I know not everybody got them.
But they've got to get money back from somewhere.
Someone's got to pay for it and give that money back somehow.
What an easy way to do it as well. Put your gas and electricity up. Make sure you get a bit of tax off that as well.
Yeah, and that's all I think it's all about. I think it's about the money. I don't think it's about health. I don't think it's about reducing. I think it's under the guise of reducing smoking in the UK. We want to be smoke free by 2030 or 35 or whatever it is. I think it's a con. I think it's a money-making scheme.
Just like what you're talking about that, about things being under guides, this makes me laugh as well. It's in Baltimore. Doctors will reveal what vaping can do to your heart. Now, basically, do you know what else I love? They love to tell you that how bad vaping is and what it could do to you, but then on the other hand, they're going, we can't get enough information because it's not been going that long. I swear to God, it's been going long enough to get enough information. Yeah. How many more years? 25 years we're at? What are we, roughly around about 25 years?
I think the first vape, 1992, was it? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, so about, I would say, just say 20 years. We're in 20 years. I started 2000 and, I think it was 2006 I started. So
2011 I started.
Yeah, 2006 I started. So we're roughly, well, that's over 20 years of vaping being around, isn't it? So 20 years, you're going to be able to get a good idea, and you've got to think things have progressed quite fast to better devices and better things. But again, they're saying what happens with your heart and the percentages. Now, they talk more than it is estimated more. It should be more than 1 million people in the UK have heart failure, according to the British Heart Foundation. More than 1,750,000 people in the US, vapers and non-vapers, were included in the study, and of these, 3,242 developed heart failure within 45 months. Right. So in my eyes, with that sort of figures, people are going to get heart failure whether they smoked or whether they don't. There is a percentage of that. And obviously, if they're smoking, you've got that percentage. The percentages of the whole article just make no sense at all. Because they're going to get it anyway. I'm trying to look. I think they said that you increase risk of vaping if you vaped for I think it was 19%.
See, I like that one. Silly question. With all this carbon reduction, will they ban marshmallows over a campfire? You know something? It wouldn't surprise me if there isn't a documentation or a big paper in one of the newspapers that doing that with a marshmallow over a campfire causes cancer.
Well, the other we had other year, what eggs, they cause cancer. And then, no, you're all right, eggs are fine.
See,
burnt toast, that was one as well.
Burnt toast, yeah, that were another one. Burnt bacon as well, that were another one.
Scott.
I think the problem with a lot of these reports that come out, you don't know if it's been actually verified, it's been read before it's actually been published on general media. So you don't know where it's coming from. Also, there's that many other factors that are not taken into account. You've got to think of ethnicity, their background, where they live, what kind of food they eat, and there's that many variables
that you can't
say that, oh yes, vaping does this. Well, no, it's a lot more complex than that. So you'll never get it's when them type of papers come out. It's like the one that came out in this country recently about vaping having the potential to cause cancer. But by the time the media's got hold of it, vaping causes cancer. And it's so like the actual paper, even though it was a not a very good scientific paper in the first place, and they are totally admitted to it. The first statement they said, we are not saying that vaping causes cancer. But no, all media places, the Guardian, the Mail and all that lot, completely bypass that one and straight on to vaping causes cancer.
And again, it's like Stu says in here, that the study isn't peer reviewed and is already discredited. Now, how many times over the years of us doing this have we, again, read these MVQ people who have done these studies at some university, and then all of a sudden it is, we always go back to the cinnamon and semen.
You certainly do go back to
We always go back to the cinnamon and semen when they just in this and put a bit of cinnamon in it. Oh, it's all dead. But by the time that headline has hit the papers, the damage is already done because you've got Margaret down the road who doesn't know anything about vaping. Yeah. And my mother-in-law is the best one at it, right? She is the best one for it. Well, on to Louise. Now, Louise was a bigger smoker than I was. And she vapes. And it keeps her off the stinkies. So her mum's constantly, that vaping's no good for you, that vaping's no good for you, that vaping's no good for you. And look at Australia, they're banned it. Look at these there, it causes heart, it causes this problems. And then when you start explaining things to her, she tries to discredit what you know. Oh, that's not right. Well, why would they do it? Well, it's all to do with money, trying to explain. But you get these people then who get it in their head, and it spreads. That vaping, oh, no good for you, worse than smoking.
But you've also got to remember there are people that are anti-smoking. I mean, in a big way. And they don't like people that smoke. Full stop. That's it. Cut and dry. And they include vaping with that. So they've got the same attitude for people smoking as they have people with vaping. And it's no matter what you say to them and explain to them how it all works, no, they've got their mindset and that's it.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, John Paul Glasgow, we know we are preaching to the people who are already converted. We're just discussing that what's been coming out and what's not been said. There is a chance, though, if you haven't already seen, on our Facebook page, I have put, if anybody wants anything discussed, it's your chance. You can do it now while Mark is going to read out the people on the replay. We're not going to be doing your hand checks this week. Mr. B's not here, or your deals. But if you get over to our Facebook page, which I did have here a second ago, I will refresh it. There is a little post on there for you to put anything you want us to discuss. And we are going to be talking about Stabwood mods in a little while as well. Lizzie. So let's hit it. It's people on the replay.
People on the replay.
Okay, bro. People on the replay.
You've done it. You've done it.
I've done it. I'm not going to do it twice this week because
right. I'm going to do this quickly because there is a long one in there. Aidan, thank you very much for the long one, but I will basically get to the actual question that you asked. Right, first off, we've got Stephen D. Replay crew. Thanks for the show, guys. Thank you, and thank you for the comment. We've got @user1paul. Hello, @user1paul. Usual name that. Sorry I'm late, but listening to your earlier points, this obviously from last week, I'd like to add a bit on flavour ban. I used to purchase flavoured tobacco. Is that banned? Cherry flavour, I think. It was very expensive, but it was nice, and at the time, but vaping is much better and glad I quit. Still now, all this worrying is making me sick. Well, when I used to smoke cigarettes, I don't know if you'll remember, you should remember it, down on, is it Printer Street in Doncaster? There used to be that old tobacconist.
There was that one on Printer Street, and then there was the one near the market as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's right. And they used to have cherry tobacco and all that lot.
Used to have, you know, like the old sweet tubs. You know, like where you got your bonbons and twisty candy twirls, whatever. Why I chose that big long fucking name, I don't know. But they used to have it in there, didn't they? Cherry, then you'd have a vanilla or a mixed whatever, which, as far as I'm concerned, they are still selling that. Which is a great point. If they're going to be looking at getting rid of flavours in vaping, would they be then looking at getting flavours out of tobacco?
Yeah. Very interesting. Right. We'll do the Aidan one. Right. Aidan, thank you so much for your full question.
If you want to read his full question, go there. Is another.
I'm going to just basically summarise what he was talking about. If you want to actually go over and read it, it was just last week's show. Basically, what he's saying is about e-liquids. He doesn't actually have nicotine. And obviously, with the possible flavour ban coming in, will he still be able to get hold of the actual flavours to make his e-liquid, also the VG and the PG? That's basically what he's asking. So, as far as I understand, I think he will be able to.
Yeah, I can't see. It's going to be very hard for him to ban any of the components because they're used in other things. So you're still going to be able to get hold of your VG, you're still going to be able to get hold of your PG, and you're still going to be able to get hold of your flavours. So a little bit of DIY will be probably.
Well, let's face it. I mean, a lot of the flavors that we use are based in cooking. So obviously, you might not be able to get like a complex flavor, but you will be able to get like your fruit flavors, probably a cake flavor or a vanilla flavor. So you'd obviously have to mix that yourself. But getting hold of VG and PG, not a problem. I mean, you can get hold of VG at Boots Chemist.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, you can buy that. So I suppose
even your complex flavors, there's plenty of places where they tell you the
how to mix it.
To mix it, yeah.
Yeah. Getting hold of them different flavors, it will just have to go under a different type of shop, won't it?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be classed as a vape shop. It would be classed as a confectionery shop. Or,
yeah. But can be.
That's how they would get around it.
Yeah.
And I think the government doesn't realise the complexity of actually and the knowledge that the hobbyists of vaping know.
Again, when we were speaking to John Dunn, he was also saying about the government haven't got a clue how they're going to be able to implement this, and that's why they've said 2026 is because they haven't got a clue how any of this is going to be implemented and how they're going to work it all out.
I mean, you'll remember when obviously the TPD came in. I mean, when the actual TPD came in and it was finalised, there was basing the TPD framework on information that was 4 years old.
Yeah.
At the time. From that 4 years from prior to obviously the TPD coming, vaping had changed that much. It really did. Because you go back 4 years prior to the TPD, most people was just mouth to lung in it. That's why the devices were. So obviously a 10ml bottle was fine.
Yeah. So is it 2025 the banning completely? It's going to be disposable all done by 2025. Yeah,
beginning next year.
Yeah. Is it beginning of next year?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware of.
So again, that's going to change the face of vaping, I think. Again, you're going to have people who do buy them. We're going to probably get a black market run, aren't we?
Oh, of course we are. I mean, let's be right about this. If they can't control the illegal vaping products that are coming into the country now, how are they going to control it afterwards?
Exactly, it's going to be even worse.
It's going to be they are creating a bigger problem than they actually realise.
Which then like the same way as it did in Australia, gives them another chance to go shitting on vaping again, because now look, and again, like we spoke about this before as well. You get dodgy alcohol. How many times have you've read in the papers that somebody's been to a party, drank loads of vodka, and then all of a sudden they're blind because it's got ethanol in it, and you get dodgy vodka, snide fags. It's going to be the same with vaping, which again I think a lot of that's already in. Especially the people who are going down the Silk Road in Manchester and all that sort of places. I think there's a lot of people who are doing the under counter stuff, and they're not getting it from and I actually blame the person who's going to get it, because if you already know that you're not supposed to get it, if somebody's taking something from underneath the fucking counter and going, here you go, I'm not supposed to, you only talk to me, here you go. Take this. Is a little bit like League of Gentlemen, when they have that meat underneath the table and start getting that nosebleed.
Special stuff.
You got to do that special stuff, son.
Don't worry you're in about shit. The nosebleed, you're all right.
So if you're not buying the brands that are well known and you're not using the devices that are well known, then it's your own shitting fault. On that point.
The problem is though, they're going to create this black market, and we know that they're going to create it. The black market's already here.
Yeah.
Anyway, all they're going to do is increase it. And what's going to happen is that the mummies that have got Timmies and all them lot, told you how bad they were. And
a lot of the stories that come out. Sorry, a lot of the stories that come out always piss me off as well, because these 19-year-olds who their lungs collapsed, so they were doing a 2,500 puff disposable a day. I don't know how anybody in the world could do a 2,500 puff a day.
A day.
It's like that banana diet, isn't it? I lost 14 stone in a day.
You day?
I just can't see how the fuck somebody can vape that much.
To photocopy it. menu.
I have this in my hand, or whatever vape, in my hand constantly, and I'm constantly vaping. There is no way in this world that I do 2,500 puffs a day.
I bet I don't do it on this.
But what she didn't tell her mum was, when she was sat out there dancing away with them thingy balloons, you know, the laughing gas, that whatever in Dockside, they don't say anything about that, because that's a massive thing in this country. I know they've been starting to ban that.
They've actually banned it.
Yeah.
Because they were going from them little cartridges that you put
walking around with great big things.
In tanks.
We took the kids to Harry Potter. We went to London and did everything in London. There were people walking around in King's Cross just like that, off the noodle. But no, it was the vaping. Or again, I've also seen that there's been the stuff coming in from America. The THC vapes have been coming in.
Yep.
So people are using these. They don't know where they're coming from. Have they got acetate in them?
They just don't know.
It's not vaping. It's not Joe Bloggs going to a fucking store and I'm sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. Going to a store and getting his normal e-liquid and his normal device and just vaping. It's not. But yes, thank you very much for that.
That's the problem with where social media comes into it. Social media is not interested in the actual facts. They just want the sensation. So you buy that paper or you read it on their website. That's the problem.
I see Vaping Head. Vaping Head said they have banned various drugs, but you can get on Drug Sun, Speed Dial these days. Basically, there is a demand, there will be supply. Well, obviously, you've got the dark web, they post it out in American places, don't they? You get whatever you want.
Well, let's face it. I mean, everyone keeps on saying, well, how do these kids get hold of these vaping things? Well, it's dead easy. They just go on Twitter. They go on Facebook. They go on Instagram. And there's some bloke. Meet me at the park at 8:40. There you go.
Which a lot of parents nowadays buy them. Our kids' friends, parents buy them. And trying to explain to them is that the children's lungs aren't developed. It's not for them. They've never smoked.
Well,
don't let them vape. Don't let them do anything that sort of way. Obviously, they're going to try it, but don't buy it. Don't facilitate it. That's like when I tell you what, here you go, here's a bottle of vodka, son, go and sit on the park.
Yeah.
You're going to try it, I know you are, but I'll tell you what, here you go, get absolutely pissed.
I mean, are these the same type of parents that would buy him 20 Marlboro?
I don't know about you. You're obviously a little bit older than me, but at school, at my school, you did find people where the parents actually gave him cigarettes. And he'd be like, I can't. Our mum and dad were massive smokers. I couldn't imagine my mum and dad going, here you go, take 20 Berkeley with you. Can you?
No.
You'd have got a right clout.
I would have done. But saying that, we are from a generation that smoking was acceptable.
Again, it's like Daniel. He's 15. Ollie, he'll be 15 in July. Ollie will be 17 in November. Jesus, 17 in November. We let them have so say Liverpool's playing football on a weekend. I'll let him have a couple of buds, while I'm sat there. But I am sat next to him. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't want him to go to a party and get absolutely trolleyed with his mates or anything like that. I want to know if the parents are there. I'm a terrible dad. I'm lose a little bit more relaxed, but I'll let him have a couple of beers. I'll let Ollie have a couple of beers. If we sat in the house watching a film or something, because you're teaching them that it's fine, but you do it in moderation.
You teach them the responsibility of it.
Obviously, I'm a big moderate drinker myself, so
yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
Okay, next one, bro. Is there another one?
No, that's it. That's the comments of the week. Aidan, I would just like to say thank you for your interesting comment there. A little bit long for the show.
Yeah, just a little bit long. But again, thank you so much for taking part. And if anybody does want to read the full part of it, get yourself on last week's show. It is in the comments. It is
actually quite interesting, to be honest with you, what he actually puts. And you can understand where he's coming from and understand the mixing side of things. He's very, how can you put it? I wouldn't say lucky, but he's fortunate that he doesn't have nicotine. So it's one less worry for him. And I think the way that the guys is going in for 2026, the only thing that will really affect anyone is the nicotine side of things. I think that's where we might find it hard. But I mean, we've spoke about that one. If it's going to cost you 300 quid for a litre, that litre's going to last you for God knows how long.
You know it, Bill. Yeah, of course it is. So, and again, if you're zero, Nick, you're just going to end up paying. What is it? An extra 3-4 quid? Is it on top? Or was it 6 quid on top of what you're already paying? Which is expensive, but yeah, if it comes about. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have got some questions on the Facebook page, and if you are not a part of the Facebook group, please get yourself over there. And I want to see more posting on there. Show us what you're vaping on. Tell us your stories. It's always great to see. We've got some great admin on there as well. In fact, we will actually start on that. Don't forget, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we will be... Oh, shit. Mark is 10-2. Where did that go?
Do giveaway.
Yeah, we'll start the... That's it, don't shout giveaway. You'll start getting us banned. It is... Again, something like that is completely strange. Rochford.
So yeah, if you got a comment, don't forget to put it in the comment section. I do like reading them.
The only problem with CC coils, I've got 10 of the women in there, and I don't particularly like sticking. They're all pregnant and they're all ready to burst, and it's quite fun going around catching them all. If you start hanging loads of stuff, because that's actually there. They're actually going upstairs in a 70 litre tank, so there'll be a little bit more room for them. But there's 10 of them in there. Trying to find out which ones. I'll just have loads of things hanging around my tank. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, get over to the wonderful Rochford project. Use for 15% off. Use 3 Men Vape. You know what to do, people. Get 2 of the wonderful Rochford projects that you choose. You choose them. Put the keyword in, which is Rochford project. We will draw that towards the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to have a little look at the 3 Men in a Vape show. I don't know if anybody else is... I'll refresh it just in case anybody else has put anything on there. The wonderful Lizzie. Can we address your issues with stabwood? And obviously the wonderful Stuart Carl Liggins, which is obviously Vape Smart, has commented on that one. It isn't the fact that I love stabwood, and you've got some of the stuff that Stu does is absolutely amazing. I just don't like the baby sick colours. You know, that sort of green and yellow. Remember, again, we always say vaping is subjective. I said to you before the show.
Well.
I don't like that. You know, can you remember when that Lazotic came out? You know, like half and half. It looked like a 1960s, 97 Bakelite. I hated the look of the mod and the colours.
I don't own one. I've never actually owned a stabwood mod. But I've always... Ruby Roo brought one out. It was a dual 21700 mech. And I always fancied, but they were just way too dear. I mean, I think they were about 300 quid, and I haven't got that kind of vape budget hands. But a lot of them I like, I've got to admit. I mean, some of the ones that Chico's does, they're really, really nice.
You've got all them coming, haven't you? One from Chico?
Yeah. Slowly but surely, yeah. It's on snail mail.
He is a busy man. He is a busy man.
He's very, very busy man.
You've got one coming. Yes, Vaping Hid. That was very, very funny when we did that. We went on a New Year's Eve stream, right? And my dad had been here. We'd all done the New Year's Eve bit. And I come on. And Skimp Vapor on his show. We Vaping Head. And they asked me to come on. So I went and got another can. I thought, I'll do a bit of a joke. So I peeled a bit of carrot off. And I dropped it in the other fish tank that we had here before. And then, obviously, the way it was, I went, here we go. So I went and picked out this bit like that, pretended it were all that, and I ate it. Everybody in the chat thought I'd actually ate the goldfish. It was funny as hell. They did take that stream down, but for other reasons. But yeah, it was quite funny that. But yeah, I love stabwood, and you've got to think what Stu does is amazing, and what Chico does. It's just certain colours that I don't like. I just don't like the look of them.
I always worry, what happens if you drop it?
I see, Matt.
You know, like, I mean, I'm used to using metal tubes and things like that. And I always think, what if you drop it?
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine it could obviously chip. It could chip. I'm not quite. Obviously, you've got the resin, and I don't know what other coatings. Stu's probably best asked for that.
Oh, bless you. Oh, who's only joking, Chico? Chico can answer the question though. He's a good one in chat. What would mean never having actually a stab wood? What happens? Or are the classes stab wood or acrylic? What happens if you drop them? Do they chip?
Matt Waite says it breaks.
I mean, I'm not on about throwing it on a lump of concrete. I'm on about general wear and tear.
Oh no, Sam M has broke his glass on his RDTA.
Oh, which RDTA you got?
So Lizzie says Chris has a Vape Smarter which survived a motorcycle accident. The only thing that didn't break. Oh
wow!
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of mods that are pretty indestructible. I've even dropped a couple of the SX Mini one. I dropped that in the bath, took everything out, dried it, and it still works today.
I'd hate to imagine how many times I've dropped my blooming Wizmec Noisy Cricket.
Yeah.
Version 2.
Vape Smart says you have a guarantee if the maker is decent. Thanks, Lizzie. Big love to you. Connor Smith, the Prosecco drinking cowboy. Don't suppose we could have a great cotton debate. You know, is Tampax really the best wicking cotton in the vape industry? And then the wonderful Bill Richards underneath that says, brilliant for mesh RTAs.
Do you know something? Where is it?
What? Here's one I made earlier.
Where is it? Where is it? I've got them every bloody where.
What, tampons?
Yeah, tampons. I've got them everywhere. I've got them all over. In my lifetime of vaping, since 2011, I have bought Muji cotton. And I buy, how many of these? I think it's 5. In my entire vaping, I've only ever bought 10 packs of them.
I've used the same as you give me millions when I first started it, but I'm not a big fan. You get this bit where you peel it off that way and then peel it off that way and then I always feel that it breaks down a lot after a while in the actual in the coils. It's good cheap cotton in it, decent enough flavour on it. I always say cotton clouds. I really do like that. I haven't actually got any here. I've got some organic cotton that I've been using from one of our sponsors, which is Coil Clout, X and Z, and that stuff is really, really good. And you just put it together.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've used cotton bacon before.
That cotton clouds, it comes in like a square packet. I think obviously if you've ever watched my review, you see that's in there. It comes in like a square cardboard packaging, and you pull it out like so. Just clip it, so I ain't got any waste or anything like that. Normally 3 mil, so you can work it out if you need to take a little bit off of it. If you've got a 2.5 or if you've got a 4, you need to put a little bit more on it. You just less wastage, and you can cut to what you need.
I've always got with Muji. Straight out, the reason why I get on with Muji, I know exactly how much I need. I know how much to cut and everything. It's cheap as chips, and it's something that I don't have to worry about. Do you know what I mean? The only downside to Muji cotton that I've ever found is the breaking time is a little bit longer than probably you say what I would class as your premium cotton.
Don't you feel though that it does break down quite quickly? You know, once you actually get it into the RDA, it's one of these cottons. It's not I'm a fluffy, I'm straight. No, like Peter Kay does with the Dunkers. You know what I mean? It's more of a rich tea than it is a digestive. You know what I mean?
I mean, I know exactly what you. It's not a hobnob. Is
no,
it?
It's not. It's definitely not. Dunk me
not
again.
A hobnob. Hobnob is the biscuit to dunk. But me personally, yeah, I mean, all right, I might have to re-wick a little bit more often. But for how much, it's that ratio, isn't it, of how much it's going to cost you and how much I just like my Muji. It's just...
Bill was saying there as well, if you leave the skin on.
See, I've always took the skin off. Always have.
Yeah, again, I've never left it on, so I can't really tell you. I always think that that's there to protect it, and it's had all the other bits rubbing, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cheap... I mean, cotton's cotton at the end of the day.
They were like, I think Cotton Clouds. I remember them coming out and sent me it come out in this great big tub, and then it was just like all wrapped around, and you're trying to pull it out to get, just, you know, if you're doing like an MTL or something like that, and you're trying to get, and it's like, it's all out, and before you know it, you've got this box full of like little tufty bits all of it.
Yeah, I never have that problem, because obviously I'm a mech user. 99% of the time, I'm a mech user, either an RDA or an RTA. I use tanks now and again, so it's just easy for me. I know exactly. I normally have 3mm in a diameter coils. I know exactly how much to cut. I take the two sides off, roll it, put it in, done, finished, and I'm vaping away.
Gecko Jenkins says, I'm a 90% Muji user. Mark H says, never been overly fussy about cotton. I'm happy with most brands. Sam M says, funny, I've always leave just one side on. And this is what I love about vaping. You've got one that's leaving it, also take both sides off, one that leaves both sides on, and one that doesn't. This is what I love about vaping. Matt Waite says, I've tried
to leave one side on.
Matt Waite, I've tried loads of, always use fuzz now. Vaping Ebb, I don't mind mini Muji in an RDA, but not in an RTA. Gecko Jenkins, I use Muji in an aromatizer mesh deck. You'd have to stack that up, wouldn't you?
I remember rightly when we was doing the mesh on the Steam Crave, one pad used to be perfect. Take the two sides off, roll it. One pad would fit the mesh coil perfect.
I'm not quite sure. I me personally wouldn't have used Muji in it. I don't think, again, because of that actual collapsing that you get from Muji, it's not got that oomph of a fluffy cloud. I don't. This is my own personal opinion. I don't think Muji's got that oomph of a cloud. You're not getting that density with Muji, in my mind. Once you've took that off and you fold it a bit, once you get some juice on that, it is going to sort of like wilt. And that's where I'm one of these where I want it to be oof all the time.
Well, these coils, cotton's been in there over a week.
Yeah.
They're nice and fluffy.
Yeah.
200ml worth of e-liquid's gone through that.
Yeah. Again, I've got nothing that's on me to go to, well, I'll tell you what, this is what I've used with what I've got, and look how fluffy mine are.
Are you not going to tell me how fluffy you are?
I'm definitely fluffy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is 9 o'clock. We've gone way over again. Get yourself over to Benny Vapes. Also, make sure that you stick a thumbs up. Right, I need to have a look. There we are. We are going to roll it, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, something's gone wrong. Ooh. Why's that gone wrong? There's nobody in the eligible users. Oh, I hate it when he does this. I don't know why that's done that. I put the Rochford, and I put Rochford in there. Why has that not worked? Oh, do you know why? Because I've not enabled it. Right, Mark, get your. You've got chat in front of you.
I have.
Get your scrolling wheel.
Right, I'm going to scroll random.
Just keep going, and I say stop.
Merc,
the winner, how do you spell that? M-E-R-K.
Yep.
If you are in the UK or in Ireland, you're going to be fine. Let us know, Merc. Let us know in the chat.
M-E-R-E-K, sorry. Do apologise.
Merc, is he in the UK? Me, yeah, Merc.
Yes, you, sir.
That is you. Are you in the UK or Ireland, Northern or Republic? Yes, that's great, buddy. What you need to do is get in touch with the Rochford Project. I'm so sorry, people. We just got on with the show, and I forgot to press join Nightbot. I should know because it's not been coming in the thingy. Get over to that email address. Let Jay know. He does watch the show, so he does know who's won. So nobody else, email him and he'll get to pick 2 of your flavours and he'll send it out to you. Also, don't forget to get over to the Rochford Project website. Use 3Men Vape. You get 15% off. Yes. Bro, it's been a great show, mate. That went absolutely fast. Say your goodbye.
Very fast.
Did you? Say your goodbye.
Nice. And we found out that you're so fluffy.
No, that's Fern. Say your goodbyes.
Say goodbye. Thanks ever so much. It's been a fantastic show, guys. It's gone so blooming quick. Guys in chat, you've been absolutely awesome as always. Don't forget, leave a comment, and don't forget, if you want us to talk about anything for next week, any topics, something that's on your mind, something that's concerning you, don't forget to put it in our Facebook group. Very, very important. And then we can talk about it.
Oh, you could actually put it on the replay.
Yeah. And
you
if you'd
put
like
it down there on the replay, comment.
I will get this out. If you'd like to see a little bit more of me, pop over to the Solo channel, where you can watch lovely reviews and listen to my dulcet tones. Over to you, bro.
I will get this out. I'm like, no, don't. Alf. Hey! And here's what I made earlier. Big love to Mr. B, ladies and gentlemen. He should be back for next week. Big love to you. I love you loads, bro. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined us again this week. Big love to you all for being a part of the show week in, week out. Thank you so much to the spanners who look after us and keep us all nice and safe. Big love. Enjoy yourselves. And I think tomorrow, Vic's out of hospital, so I'm really happy about that. He did have pneumonia. But he's starting to feel a lot better. So hopefully we will be back tomorrow as normal. Big love to you all. Look after yourselves. And we will catch you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Press the button, Aidan. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Fist slaps.
Hashtag fluffy.
Oh, that was lovely, that. Don't forget to press the thumbs up.
Hashtag no mash.
Fantastic ball bag beanie. That was really a ball bag beanie. Good night.